but I I don't know that I'm ready to navigate it enough, like without a multi-pass. So yeah, the last time that I was at Hollywood Studios, I did end up buying it. It's the
You
only
did?
time I did. It's the only time we reviewed it for the show. If you
Welcome, Walt Disney World fans, to another episode of the Notcast, presented by Not Club 33. Continuing on with the Time vs. Money series here, it's time for Hollywood Studios. My name is Steve Rhodes. With me today, it's Pat Neistat.
What's up?
Becky Wells is here.
Hey.
And so is the Disney cynic, Bobby Burchens.
did you guys know that there were volcanoes that were active on the moon while there were dinosaurs?
Makes sense. I mean, volcanoes are active here still, so.
Right.
What do you think about it?
Moon is not geologically active per science, I think. Something. I remember that in a book.
I did not know whatever all of that you're saying is.
It's unfact-checked, and if you'd like to fact-check it at home, Google is your friend. What will also remain unfact-checked is our opinion on whether or not you should rope drop or use Lightning Lane at Disney's Hollywood Studios. These are our opinions, and going first today is Mr. Robert Burchens, the local.
Pulling out the legal name.
Hey, man. Sometimes you got to let them know. You're the local, no kids. You rope dropping at Hollywood Studios? You're buying Lightning Lane? What are you doing?
This is a really tough call for me because, like, the heavy hitter attractions, the ones that I love the most are at Hollywood Studios. So your Tower of Terrors, your Muppets, R.I.P. soon, I guess. The Rise of the Resistance, Millennium Falcon, all of that is just fantastic. Rock and Roller Coaster when it works. It's worth it to me to be able to actually go on all of these things, but I don't know that I'm ready to navigate it enough, like without a multi-pass. So yeah, the last time that I was at Hollywood Studios, I did end up buying it. It's the
You
only
did?
time I did. It's the only time we reviewed it for the show, if you recall.
Oh, that's right. I'll link that. Yeah.
So it was efficient in that sense, and okay, but it's just bullshit that I have to pay for it, and I hate that I have to pay for it now. So, if it depends on my mood. If I'm there to ride one or two rides, no, absolutely not. There's no sense in that shit. But if I'm there to like really like hustle and do everything like with you guys, touristy shit, all right, fine, whatever. Maybe multi-pass.
I've never tried to ride everything. Touristy, come on now. Becky,
there's some people like that.
Yeah, there are gorilla tour in the parks. Not my style, but I'm surprised that you would say just go for it. But I mean, Hollywood Studios is one of those parks where there's a lot of really good attractions. So I'm interested to see your take on this, Becky. Somebody who rope drops Magic Kingdom and skips the Lightning Lanes. Similar thing here at Hollywood Studios, or change of pace?
I try to line up where I stay based on the park days and vice versa.
Yeah.
So if I'm at Boardwalk, less likely that I'm at Beach Club, then I'm going to rope drop because I can walk over there quickly and get there early.
Yeah.
I don't like to try to rope drop there if I'm driving. The buses, I don't know, hit or miss. I'm worried, like, we haven't done multi-pass as a family, and I don't think we would, because I feel like it would be so tricky to try to actually get what we're hoping for out of that experience versus just popping in on what we want to ride. So to me, like, Josh's like favorite thing is Rise of the Resistance, but unfortunately often it just breaks when he tries to go on it. So potentially if we wait till we've done, the strategy of waiting till the very end of the day. So that's kind of where we are at with that one. We try to kind of do Galaxy's Edge at the end and just knock out as much as we can
Put a pin in that. We'll
early.
circle
But
back to that strategy at
yeah,
later in the
but
show.
we're
Yep.
also, I mean, we're rope dropping. We're not buying anything, but we are also leaving in the middle of the day because that place is a madhouse and there's just too many food options close by
Yeah.
or Skyliner close by to not have to be there midday. So
Yeah.
I
And
don't want to spend extra money at that place because I don't feel like it's reliable in either of the options that exist.
yeah.
So I would rope drop it before I would buy it.
Yeah, and with the, like you said, leaving in the middle of the day is a really good idea with the lack of shade and lounge
Yeah.
around options that
Yeah.
you can do. Pat Neistat, last time you were at Hollywood Studios, you had your mom in tow. Did you guys purchase the multi-pass, or did you skip it?
No, we purchased the multi-pass for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna rope drop. We get the multi-pass. I mean, we were able to, with the way they have it set up now, where you get the 3 attractions or whatever, how it
Yeah.
used to be with the original Fast Pass before you had to
Yeah.
pay. So it's somewhat similar to that. We essentially got like we were able to do every attraction with it, and then we also bought the single pass for Rise of the Resistance, which we never got to use because it broke down, and it was broke down the entire time we were there. But I would say the multi pass is definitely worth it at that park because if you don't get it, the lines, it gets so busy at that park, the lines get ridiculous. Like
Yes.
ridiculous. I mean, it's super long. Like even
Particularly
like
for Slinky. I don't understand the reason why, but for the life of me, y'all love that roller coaster so much.
it's a
And
great
that,
roller
that
coaster.
thing is inflated as a wait time compared to a substantially better
But
roller
you got to look
coaster
at
in
that
Rock and Roller
ride
Coaster.
for the average guest. You know, you got your family
That's
of 4
fair.
Families
just
can
got
go
these-
on it.
Yeah, kids coming of age that are like 6 to 8 years old. That's their first coaster. It's just going to have a bunch of people.
That's
in
why
line.
it's so popular.
That's
It's the same
fair.
reason with
Yeah.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. But for me, it's worth it because I think we did every attraction there. We left in the middle of the day to get lunch at the Riviera, came back, finished a couple rides, and I think it was like 3:00, and
Yeah.
we were already did everything that we kind of wanted to do, and it was just too busy. So we're like, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So you skip rope drop and you pay for the multi pass. What time did you arrive?
I arrived at 10:45 when I did it.
Yeah.
We probably arrived like an hour or so afterwards, after it opened.
Okay.
You know,
So
I don't know if that's like 10:00.
Just
I think
before
it opens
10.
at 9.
Yeah, just before 10.
So we got there at 9. Hopped on Muppets. Muppets is a funny attraction. I mean, I think people just skip it and they miss out on it.
Hell yeah, they do. It's one of the
do it now
best.
while you can. Yeah.
So, yeah. What about you, Steve?
I'm in the boat of the multipass here. I would possibly, if I was going to do a full day at Hollywood Studios, I'd consider the Premier Pass even at this park. Because at Hollywood Studios, this is the one park where I don't meander. I'm there for business and business only. And because it doesn't have the appeal to me to just walk around. I don't know if it's because of the layout is so poorly designed. But there are a lot of little lounging spots, outside of like Baseline Tap House where you can just go grab a beer and kind of be on the patio. That gets crowded. There's really nowhere else to go. There's a beer cart or something, but there's not a place for a family just kind of sit and people watch. So it's
Galaxy's
just
Edge.
too hot. It looks cool, but there's not like where do you go? Like there's just not like a spot like where you can just.
I would also
be.
say the
Yeah.
commissary to a degree, but that's a quick
It's
service
so-
location. You do
Yeah.
feel like
Oh, yeah.
obligated
Away
to
from
buy.
everything.
Yeah,
I'm
I
with you,
feel
Steve. It's like the most Six Flags feeling freaking
yes.
park.
But
In
that's
terms
what it
of-
kind of was created as, just like the original Universal. Disney did this in a rush to beat Universal Studio at their game, and this is, everything was kind of the Six Flagsy with this park,
Yeah.
and it's all about business. So quite honestly, this is the park that I go to the least on my Disney trips. So we decide as a family whether or not we want to hoof it over and go see these attractions. We love the attractions, and riding the attractions, just being there sucks. So for me, I mean, my family will just consider whether or not we want to go all the way to Hollywood Studios and just ride like something like Rise of the Resistance and pay for just that and leave, or really go at this and try to knock out all the things. And like you were alluding to, Pat, with the multipass, it might be a little harder. Then you have things like Rise going down that could put a hindrance in your day to ride something else. So this is one of those parks where sometimes we might even be at Disney World for a week, never go to Hollywood Studios, and I hate that, but it's just because it seems it's almost like a burden. So it's just like, how bad do I want to go see these rides?
If you're staying close enough and you have that like park hopper, and you can look and be like, you're early back in the evening, be like, yeah, we can walk over for one of these rides. Like if there's lower wait time, that is a park that I've done that on, where it's like, yeah, we could pop over there for that, and then maybe stay for Fantasmic or whatever it may be, catch the evening stuff and then come back if you're close enough. But if you're staying somewhere else on property, it's like never worth it to try to pop in on that park.
Yeah. Becky, we're going to get to your nighttime tip here in a second, but Pat, I wanted to ask, what did Disney do when your Rise of the Resistance that you paid for the single lot, what do they do? Do they refund you, or they give you another pass? What happened?
Yeah, since I didn't use it, they actually refunded my money. I didn't even realize they did it until later. Okay. I had the same experience with Guardians of the Galaxy. We just didn't use it. And they refunded my money. So I was kind of shocked by that.
And Guardians was on you? Like you just didn't use it, or it was down?
No, we purchased it, didn't use it. We just didn't use it for whatever reason. Wow. And they refunded it.
See, they didn't have to do that, so
no.
I'm a little surprised.
Maybe it went down at some points in the day and you didn't know.
Yeah, you got lucky.
That could be, I guess.
What about Tiana's? Did you guys buy it for Tiana's too?
No, so Tiana's part of the multi. It's part of the multi pass.
Oh, it was already in that. Okay.
So you're not guaranteed an attraction with the multi pass. So
sure.
And the virtual queue, it broke down, and they just gave us a pass for something else.
Sure. Okay.
Becky, you gave a tip that the late night for Hollywood Studios, not going in with the deluxe. We talked about that with Epcot in our last episode, but getting in line late night with Rise of the Resistance, the line won't necessarily be shorter, but this is something that you do.
Yeah, we've run into it a few times where like Millennium Falcon and Rise will both have a much shorter wait time in the last hour. And you have to kind of like roll those dice. I mean, one time my kids were like, we can make it on both, which is false. Because even if you only have a short wait to get through the queue of Falcon, it's still not going to get you out in time to run to that line for Rise. But I mean, it's a roll of the dice, because if you get in that line and say you're waiting 25 minutes, fine, and you get all the way through, if it breaks, like, well, it's the end of the night. So there's no more coming back. So it's a risk, but you have to decide if you want to put it off that long or pretend you're going to wait for like over an hour, which is not happening. So yeah, we've done that. Galaxy's Edge right away or at the very end are usually the times that we go there, because especially when there is a Fantasmic, the park is heading that way. Everybody's leaving or going to the shows. That's the time we go there. So
how long before park close are you getting in that line for Rise of the Resistance?
We've probably done like 10-15 minutes before park close before, where you pretty much are walking straight through at that point.
Yep.
Because they'll make it look like it's closed.
Yes.
So you just have to be like, I'm just going to get in this line anyway, because it's not close.
And the wait time in the app will still say an hour. Yeah. And you'll see nobody out there, and then you'll be like, what's going on?
Yes.
They will let you in the line. If the park closes at 10 and you walk in the line at 9:59, they will let you in, and you pretty much will walk on. But an hour before park close, the line is still going to be long. So if you're willing to risk it,
we're cutting it much closer than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it always, like, if you don't know what you're doing, you'll be like, oh no, it's already closed. It's not. But yeah.
I have a random question for you guys that affects this to a degree. How much shopping do you guys do when you're at Hollywood Studios? Because that seems to be something that's supposed to be a form of crowd control that makes Disney a lot of money.
I don't do any shopping at Disney World, period.
Very good. Okay, well,
Unless I forget a hat.
I hate shopping.
True.
I hate shopping. I didn't want to shop. My mom, on the other hand, loves shopping. So I went through every damn store that there was at Hollywood Studios. Yeah. So, is this to answer your question, Bobby?
More or less. I feel like the whole point of a lot of those shops and that whole bazaar type area over by the place where you can get the sausage on a pita thing, like that whole experience was meant to make you stop and saunter, basically. And
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
it's
think that it
crowded.
does.
It's all crowded. When we were there, it was crowded. That whole
Yeah.
what do they call that little shopping area?
Is it just that we do Disney like very hardcore? Is that what it is? And everybody else is like just a noob to us? Is that what it is?
If I really want something, I can buy it in the app or at the gift shop at my hotel.
The stuff
There's
at the
really
Galaxy's
only
Edge, you can't buy.
It
You
doesn't
can't
matter to
buy
Steve.
on the app.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Star Wars, so that's not a problem I have. But
Well,
For the
if you need
Galaxy's
Star Wars
Edge,
merch,
the way that area is set up in Florida is, in my opinion, worse than how it's set up in California. The flow is totally different between the two. They're the same stuff, but it doesn't seem to work the same. It's like different levels in Florida. It's kind of weird. So it doesn't it's easy to just walk right past it, ignore it in Florida. But
yeah, you could. Yeah.
shopping wise, no, my family, if the kids brought money, then they'll maybe want to go look for a few minutes at the end of the night. But I don't even want to be in there for 10 minutes. I hate shopping. So.
Oh, it just seems stupid to sell $200 lightsabers then.
people
You're not
are
wrong.
buying
I
them.
mean, most people
I mean,
love to spend time in the shops. I'm not
People are
them.
waving those things around. Pulling them
You're
out
just
of
asking the
box.
wrong crowd. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
The shops
you just
are busy.
You just don't care.
Yeah.
I did more shopping this last trip than I ever did probably the entire time I've been going. So,
Yeah. Pro tip out there: if you don't like shopping and your family does, don't let them shop in the Magic Kingdom, so you can break off and get a beer in all the other parks.
That's for air conditioning only.
The other-
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Or take the monorail to the Contemporary and go to the Outer Rim.
Oh, there you go.
That
You
will
could do that.
also.
So we have one for possibly rope dropping and Becky, and then everybody else just paying the man his money. Mr. Iger is probably happy to hear that. If you're happy about episodes like this, why don't hit the like button, because it really puts us up in those YouTube algorithms. Turn on those notifications so you know when we upload new episodes, and consider subscribing because it's free to do so and it really helps out our channel. We only have one left. It's Animal Kingdom. You'll see that coming up soon. Like I said, turn on notifications and you'll know when that episode drops. For everybody here at Not Club 33, have an awesome day.